Okay, welcome back. It is day 150 of coding every day. Um, that is officially, if you count the average month, that's 30 days, officially 5 months of doing this every single day without fail. So, um, I definitely think the first half of this, like December, so I started like the very last couple days of November. So all of December and all most of January were probably the best months of this, because I was still. I think it mostly equates to. I kind of said last video was the internship stuff, because I was still very hopeful about getting like an internship, and that, knowing now that I didn't get one and I only got the research for the summer, I just think the motivation there just kind of really fell off. Um, so yeah, those 2 months were really good. I thought I made a lot of progress in those 2 months, especially with like leak code style questions. But over the last like since like school, maybe like the first month of starting school, like February was fine, but March and April have been pretty bad. I won't lie. Most of my videos have been just very short, or even in these new styled videos of like 5 minutes of just a recap of what I did for the day, and what I'm expecting to do tomorrow or the rest of the week. Um, it's like either it's like I didn't record anything, or it's like I had 30 minutes, like today again, 30 minutes is what I recorded, and what is playing in the background. um but yeah, it's just I think it's just a motivation thing of like it feels a little just depressing, you know, the situation I'm in, of I'm going to something I really don't want to be doing this summer, um and then the coming out the other side of that, it's not like I can get an internship now. And even like the internship, it like, yes, like the biggest reason was like, oh, because then I'll have a good chance at a return offer, and then I don't have to go through this whole new grad, no official experience, looking for an entry level job in this job market, right? um but the other thing is just job experience. I've never worked at a tech company, obviously. So just being able to have like a 3 month preview of like seeing the people around me and how that looks, what a day to day is. I've never personally done like an 8 hour day of coding. The most I've ever like sat down and done is maybe like 5 6 hours. So it's like, what does that feel like to do? Like, I know it's not 8 hours straight of coding, but just like, what does that feel like? Like, how much effort is put into that? How much collaboration is there? Stuff like that. And so to like miss out on that and have to do another summer of research, um, just sucks. I didn't want to be in this position. So yeah, I'm happy I started the series, because I guarantee you, if I didn't, the only coding I'd be doing these days is just uh it literally just the bare minimum of my classes. But I've still been doing leak code here and there because of these. But they have been easies, but it keeps me in the same mindset of making sure that I'm like, I have my classes are in C, but this keeps me familiar with stuff like Python. And then I working on my side project gives me some JavaScript and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely need to like think about it more and just think about like where I want to go with this. Do I want to continue this summer? Like while I'm working there, do I really want this to be an everyday for? I mean, if it goes to the summer, right? That's another month. That's 4 months. That's another 120 days until the fall. And then how long will it take me to actually get a full time job? Will I get it in my senior year? Maybe not. Maybe it'll be the fall after I graduate. Maybe it'll be the spring after I graduate, depending how bad it is. And it's like, so would I really want to go for 500, days? I don't know how beneficial that'd be, but I don't at the same time, like, how could it ever hurt? The most it would hurt is someone going in the comments on day like 400 and being like, "Wow, you suck." You're on day 4. You can't been 400 days and you can't find a job. But um but yeah, so a little reflection for day 150. But as for what I did today, I worked on the fetch stage again, which still isn't working. For some reason, after like the delay, I'm pretty sure is working now. The where the program counter isn't incrementing until it's done fetching from DRAM, but then it's not sending that date like information to fetch the register that we need the information to go into. So I need to look at that. And then I was changing the scripts for my partner made scripts to make it so that you can compile, run the API and then the interface all together. And because I was using Windows today, the Linux one just works on Linux. I had to change. He had like Python. I did Python 3 for like a couple things, but the Windows one, because he doesn't work off Windows, but he did put together Windows things, which was nice. There's something with like the require, because it's a virtual environment that it's compiling to. The requirements wasn't correctly. There was already a file existing for like the compiled requirements, but it didn't have anything in it, and so it just wasn't going with these new requirements that were in there for the Windows one. So yeah, so that's all I did today. The demo's on Wednesday. I'm meeting with my partner tomorrow, so need to make sure we can do a matrix multiplication, which a 2x2 matrix did work. I tested it today on my Linux device, but anything outside of that isn't working. I think that one has to do with my simulator. It's running off a max cycle thing, but I increased it and it wasn't working. So there's a lot I have to look at, and then it shouldn't be a 500 line thing for a 3x3 matrix. It should be something where I'm branching. So yeah, still a little bit to work on before our final demo on Wednesday. And then tomorrow, my computer system principles project's due, so that's what I'll be working on as well. So yeah. So that is all I have. I will see you tomorrow for day 151, probably working on one of those projects. So take care. Bye.